In Minnesota football, say the name Hutchinson and it means something. Hutchinson is known as a football factory with a deep legacy of excellence across the state. In fact, football is all anyone wants to talk about in Hutchinson.
Do you understand what the outside part of the state views Hutchinson? I mean, you say Hutchinson, you think Tiger football.
Everyone knows that we're going to be good, and everyone knows that we have like a winning culture, and everybody knows Hutch football, even though we are a small town.
As soon as you say you're from Hutchinson, it's not like baseball. We're at a baseball game. I think they talk baseball, but no, they want to know about football.
So you knew something big was happening every Friday night. But even going to the games when I was younger, think about and dream about playing for the Tigers one day.
Bloodlines run deep in Hutch, and if there's a first family of Hutchinson football, it would have to be the Rostbergs. Their name is on the stadium for a reason, as Grady Rostberg spent 29 seasons as head coach before passing the torch to his son Andy.
We've only had 2 coaches in 54 years. And the guy said, that can't be possible.
There are grandpas that played here, and then their sons played here, and then their grandsons have played here, and their great-grandsons have played here. We do things like we've always done things, and that's treat kids right, but we're going to teach kids how to be tough and how to be courageous.
Couldn't ask for my boys to be mentored by anybody else. They're still there for them to this day. It wasn't just about football.
So 40 tight left, 3-step.
The Rostberg name isn't just on the sidelines these days, as freshman Grady and Rostberg is the starting quarterback for Hutchinson, carrying the weight of 3 generations and an entire community on his shoulders.
Growing up here, as being on the sidelines since I was 3, I mean, I've noticed a lot of stuff and I've learned a lot of stuff from expectations are higher, practices are way more intense.
Talk about Dad and Grandpa.
Grandpa, I mean, having him on the sidelines for sure helps a lot. I mean, calming me down a little bit if something goes wrong or stuff like that. And then my dad, and having him as a coach and listening to him every single day after school and at practice and on game days and stuff like that, for sure has helped a lot.
You proud of your dad and grandpa?
Yes, for sure.
Your last name doesn't have to be Rostberg to bleed Hutchinson football, as the program really is one big family. A culture of high expectations has created a two-way street where coaches and players will do whatever it takes to support each other.
Coach Rostberg was a great role model for me. I would come to practice super early to work on throwing. We'd play catch all the time, and sometimes we'd just sit and talk. He was just such a great person to be around and such a great role model for me.
It's amazing what both Rostbergs have built there, and even Andy, for the success he had, especially early on, sticking around and staying Hutchinson and not moving on to something bigger is very impressive to me.
Rostbergs are like a second dad to thousands of people. I would literally do anything for them. If they asked me to drive 10 hours to go do something that they needed done, I would go do it. And I'm sure if I called them and said I needed something too, they'd do it.
The Hutchinson players even use a one-of-a-kind drill throughout the season to remind themselves the importance of staying connected.
Sometimes it's not going well. You know, say, hey, come on in, time for the hug, I love you drill. And the kids know it now, they pop up. And we have coaches hugging coaches, players hugging players, players hugging coaches, and they give each other a big two-handed hug and they look each other in the eye and they say, I love you.
I came to practice one day and I saw him do that and I said, why didn't I think of that?
trying to just build a family, build a team, make sure everybody comes together. As a freshman, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we doing this? But now as a senior, you really like, you kind of take it for granted because the 4 years flies by so fast.
In a small, tight-knit community where everyone knows each other, the Monday morning quarterbacks will always have something to say.
A lot of people in town, I don't think, realize just what it takes to build a program, a winning program, and then to do it for decades.
I'd always have people walking up to me and talking to me about the game or the upcoming game or the game we just had, and it just shows how, like I said before, how close the community is with football. Like, people did look at you differently if you played football. Like, they knew like you were going to be a hard worker. They knew that you were going to have good values because of what Coach Rostberg instills in you as a football player, to be hardworking and never giving up.
Coming from a smaller town, you know, it's a very tight-knit community, so you know a good amount of people here, and they know you as well.
But here in Hutchinson, competing like a tiger is about how you carry yourself on and off the field. Win or lose, one thing that has never changed is the quality of people coming out of the Hutchinson football program and the young men they eventually become.
There's a lot of tiger pride, so just like being kind and helpful to others, they always say it, have that tiger pride with everybody.
We also like to give back to the community a lot. Like, we're always out and about helping with just doing some like fundraisers or helping set up events.
You come back here and you just kind of reflect and look back on just like growing up in Hutchinson, and playing on Saturdays is fun and all, but I don't think anything will beat Friday nights.
For Hutchinson football players, the legacy of competing like a tiger extends well beyond their years on the field. There's a reason the entire town of Hutchinson is in on Tiger football, because they know the family that is formed under the lights of Rostberg Stadium will never fade.
But I don't think that they would be where they are today had they not gone through this program with the men that was mentoring them.
We want your boys to be good football players, but we want them to be better men when they leave the field.
Leave it all out there. Just keep on building that success for Hutchinson. So
Play hard, goes fast.